Hello everybody, my name is Harpreet Saini and this is my Jigsaw instructional strategy presentation for PIDP 3250. So as you can see, I have chosen the instructional strategy of Jigsaw. And just to start off, we'll talk a little bit about what Jigsaw is. And as Elizabeth Barkley explained, it's more of a learner-focused teaching technique. And essentially, it's students working together in small groups and becoming experts on a particular area of a topic. And that includes discussing information or material that they have read and debating and talking about that and then becoming quote-unquote experts and then changing groups after to be in groups with people who don't know that particular area and presenting that information to them as the experts, as well as listening to the other presentations of the other experts that have come from other groups to learn more information about the other areas of the topic. So why Jigsaw? Myself, I have seen this in the classroom and found it greatly beneficial. And I think one of the biggest things is that it really gives ownership and responsibility to students as the experts in the classroom. And that roles and responsibility are equal. No one is doing more, no one is doing less work than the other. And I think the best part, the most biggest pro of the Jigsaw technique is that it's quite flexible and creative in how each learner decides to teach it, and that they can use any type of strategy, whether that's case studies, role playing, using examples, whatever they feel that they need to use to support them presenting the information that they've just become experts in. And I think that's great to encourage that kind of individuality for our learners in the classroom, because then they're able to relate it to themselves, and that way they make it their own. The role of the instructor, although kind of taking a step back as a traditional instructor, still really important because the instructor has to provide the guidance in terms of having a clear topic, having a clear essential question, and providing the material or background to the information that the learners, are going to be becoming experts on. So learners can't become experts on an area that they don't have background information on. So it's really important for the instructor to provide that, whether it's in a handout or in a reading, and allowing time for the learners to retain that information, and then of course be able to discuss it with each other in their group. So for example, if there's 4 groups, red, blue, green, and yellow, it's important that the instructor really clarifies that each color group will become an expert on what the health benefits of food is for their assigned color. That way it gives them guidance, gives them the question that they know that they have to answer, and they're able to use that as a starting point. Also, it's important for the instructor to provide a class summary or a reflection at the end before that for the end of the lesson, because it's important for them to be able to summarize all aspects of the topic, not just the area that they were experts on. Next, I'm going to talk a little bit about why not the smart jigsaw technique. And I think it's important to know that this is a technique where there really has to be some learner buy-in, and they really want to become primary, teachers in the classroom with their colleagues. Sometimes we can run into barriers with learners not really paying attention past their own expertise topics, and not really retaining the information that's being presented to them. So it's really important as instructors to encourage that, as well as running across learners who have a fear of public speaking. I mean, while this can be a great arena for learners to be able to practice public speaking, it can also be a really daunting one. So as an instructor, just being aware of that is really important. An example of myself using Jigsaw was in the topic of intervention strategies. And I started off with a handout, as you can see, to give the background information, allowed time for the students to read the material, then meet in groups to debate the material and the information and what their understanding was, and come up with a clear idea of what the material was to them, and then allowed each expert to change groups and present the material in their own way, which was really great because it allowed some students to really be able to become creative and have some role playing and just have fun with the learning. But I think looking ahead, looking more forward, sorry, it's important for me as an instructor and instructors in general to ask a reflective question, for example, a one-sentence summary. And that's so that the learners think past just their own area of expertise and think about the whole topic and everything that they've learned and relating themselves and their experiences to that. And that way they're able to retain more information and think on a more deeper level. So I just wanted to say thanks for listening to my video. And here are some references in case you're wondering where I got some of the information. And I look forward to seeing everyone else's. Thanks.